Welcome back to Top 5.
Mount Olympus loomed above the clouds, an awe-inspiring bastion of divine glory, its marble columns glimmering in the radiant light of the celestial sun. The air crackled with the anticipation of the second round of the Who Will Win tournament, a contest that had drawn together deities and mortals alike to witness battles that would transcend history. In the heart of the arena, two titans prepared for a showdown that would shake the very foundations of myth itself. As crowds filled the amphitheater, infusing the atmosphere with fervor, a private exchange unfolded between two powerful figures atop one of Olympus's lofty terraces. Thor, the golden-haired god of thunder, leaned against one of the unparalleled pillars, his blue eyes locked onto the horizon, where the clouds rolled and danced like ethereal specters. Beside him, Loki, his brother, and the god of mischief, hovered, his emerald gaze radiating mischief and a hint of concern. "Tell me you're not worried about him, brother," Thor said, the wind tugging at his blonde locks, his voice a low rumble echoing against the marble. "Me? Hardly," Loki replied, flashing a sardonic grin. "Though I suppose I should be concerned for dear Hades. This grand act of yours, what was it you called it? The Who Will Win tournament? Cyril of the underworld has yet to thaw from the chill of my clever tricks. After all, it's not every day that a mere mortal dares to challenge a god." "Aye, but Hades is no ordinary god," Thor countered, his posture remaining relaxed, though his tone turned serious. "He is a master of the shadows, the coolness of death itself. It's a dangerous dance you have planned." Loki straightened, a flicker of intrigue crossing his features. "I'll admit, I enjoy the thrill of uncertainty, a delicate balance between risk and reward. Besides, can one ever truly claim to be alive if they don't flirt with the very notion of death?" Thor rolled his eyes, amusement threading through his worried demeanor. "You speak in riddles as usual. Just remember, this time, it's not merely trickery. The stakes are infinitely higher." Loki waved a dismissive hand. "Pray tell, are you concerned about my mental well-being? After all, half the world believes I am but a trickster." In that moment, both of them turned their gaze to the arena, where ethereal light illuminated the combatants' preparations. They knew it was time for Loki to face Hades in a battle that promised to be life-altering for one and life-ending for the other. As they made their way down to the contestants' platform, the energy surged. Loki stepped into the arena, a spire of chaos amidst the orderly ranks of the gods. Shadows coalesced as the lord of the underworld, Hades, stepped into the light, a canvas of piercing darkness clad in regal obsidian. His presence chilled the air, contrasting sharply with the warmth radiating from Olympus itself. The crowd erupted into a cacophony of shouts and cheers, for they knew that this was no ordinary match. This was the prodigal trickster against the god of the underworld, a clash of wits and wills, reality versus illusion. Panic and exhilaration danced within Loki as he prepared for the fight. He summoned the full extent of his powers, charm woven into his facial expressions, as he approached Hades. "Dear Hades," Loki said, his voice smooth as silk yet laced with bravado. "Are you ready to dance with shadows, or will you merely wither in the brilliance of my wit?" Hades' lips curled into a shadowy smile, a reflection of the darkness that defined him. "Your tricks are well and good, brother Loki, but it's time you learned that not all battles are won with laughter." With a sudden flick of the wrist, Hades summoned a swirling tempest of shadows that climbed toward the sky. Loki's heart raced, every trickster's instinct screamed for self-preservation. He moved with the swift grace of a wraith, conjuring illusions, and doubling himself. Three Lokis emerged from the darkened corners of the battlefield, dancing between cerulean sky and obsidian depths. But Hades was no mere opponent. He summoned his scythe, a weapon forged from the depths of despair itself. With a single swing, he carved through illusion and reality alike, aiming for the heart of the trickster. The ground trembled as echoes of their collision vibrated outward. The first clash of force sent shockwaves through the arena. Loki cast more illusions, attempting to flurry around Hades like autumn leaves in a gale. The true Loki darted in and out of existence, his laughter mingling with the howls of the wind. Yet, for every illusion he crafted, Hades responded with precision, shadows coiling and curling as he struck deeper into Loki's chaotic ballet. Hades found rhythm in the dance of death, blurring the lines between his strokes of dark power and Loki's shimmering wiles. Each strike struck harder, each moment bleeding into the next, painting the arena in sorrow and camaraderie. The battle reached an apex as Loki found an opening, a flicker of opportunity in the shroud of night. He unleashed a torrent of trickery, creating a reality where Hades would stumble. Yet, as Loki's laughter echoed, he felt a lingering pulse of dread, the thrill of victory teetering dangerously close to the abyss. But Hades anticipated this. With a sudden shimmer of darkness, he dodged the ethereal strike, stepped within striking distance, and brought his scythe crashing down. The blade found its mark not on Loki's illusion, but on the heart, the real one. Time slowed. Red and green unfurled together in tragic elegance. Loki gasped as he felt the finality of the blow, darkness pooling around him like a deathly whispers. Hades stood over him, scythe raised, eyes glowing like embers in the void. A chorus erupted in despair as Loki fell to the ground, a mischief's grin faltering into a landscape of defeat. As the last breath escaped his lips, the arena trembled with the memory of a trickster's laughter, haunting yet hollow. Thor lurched, fists clenching as his heart bled for his brother. The weight of the moment settled heavily upon him, a tangible sorrow reverberating throughout Olympus. He stepped forward, brimming with unspoken words, words of love, of grief, of chance, and felt the pull of destiny twisting beneath his feet. And in that moment, as Loki faded into darkness and silence, Hades raised his scythe high, heralding not just victory but the unbreakable cycle of life and death, an eternal dance where the trickster had finally met his match. The crowd's roar dulled to a hushed reverence, the ethereal spectators witnessing a metamorphosis of uncertainty. Amongst the gods, heroes, and myths whispered the truth. The contest was not merely who would win, but how the best battles made legends, forever entwined in tales of triumph and loss. And on this day, one legacy fell beneath the weight of awe, and rebirth lingered amidst mournful shadows. As Hades cast one final, contemptuous glance at Thor, the god of thunder felt a cold fury boil within him, a tempest brewing in his heart. Forbidden to touch the lord of the underworld, he could only watch as Hades departed, the darkness surrounding him like an ominous cloak. The whispers of the audience faded into a dark undertone, as if Olympus itself trembled in fear of the aftermath. Thor rushed toward Loki's lifeless body, a shroud of despair engulfing him as he knelt beside his fallen brother. The once vibrant trickster lay still, the glint of mischief extinguished forever. A hollow scream tore from Thor's throat, reverberating through the very fabric of the arena. It was a sound laced with anguish, raw and unrestrained, an echo of thunder amidst the ominous silence. In that moment of grief, electricity surged through Thor's veins, bursting forth in a violent display of fury. Strikes of lightning crashed from the skies, illuminating the arena in blinding flashes, throwing the audience into disarray as they scrambled away in terror. The heavens rattled and clapped, mirroring the storm within Thor, a tempest birthed from pain and rage. Loki. No. Thor cried, grasping at the lifeless form, his heart shattering as he felt the weight of loss crush him. The dynamic bond of brothers, of trickster and warrior, lay severed, leaving Thor alone amidst the chaos, a king brought low by death, by the sting of farewell. As he knelt there, the world around him blurred into insignificance. All that remained was the memory of laughter and mischief, now eclipsed by a profound silence that lingered like a haunting specter over Mount Olympus.